Hello, my name is Taco Fleur. I'm from Caveman Training and IKU, the International Kettlebell University. Today I want to talk to you about the hip snap. It's a term that's often used and probably too much. Personally, I don't like it and I will explain why. And you might agree, you might not. I'm open to debate it too. But I guarantee you that if you watch the whole video, your mind is going to be a lot broader. So, I run a lot of kettlebell communities. In that, some of them we have 53,000 people, 20,000, and so on. Mailing lists with 25,000 people, etc. The point is, when people post a video on there in the communities and start discussing the swing, so they'll say, how is my kettlebell swing? Can I get some feedback? Okay, what you'll get then is like you get lots of input. But there's already one thing missing. First of all, a swing is an exercise. An exercise. Let me repeat that. It's an exercise, not an exercise variation. So swing defines certain characteristics that need to be met. That the weight is swinging. Now, a variation defines exactly how that is performed. So for example, a hardstyle swing needs to be fast, always. It's about power. It's rigid. It's the way it is, okay? That's a hardstyle swing. It's a hip hinge. That's how it needs to be performed. Okay, but the person who was requesting feedback did not define the exact swing variation. So people will jump in and assume that it's whatever swing they are used to, whatever swing they've seen the most, or whatever swing they are biased to. So the first thing that anyone should ask is, what kind of swing are you performing? What kind of swing variation are you performing? Hardstyle, freestyle, sports style. Then, if you're in freestyle, it can be a squat swing. Yes, a squat swing, guaranteed. If you're doing a pendulum, it's actually a squat movement already, and there is no hip snap. So a hip snap is fast snap. Okay, so you're already saying that person needs to do a hardstyle swing. Okay, you didn't ask what does the person want to do, because if that person wants to work their quads, then they'll want to do a freestyle swing with a squat movement. The quads are way more involved, and the ankles too, with a squat movement. I'm not going to get into that, but if you're still on the side where a squat swing is now good, then do some more research. A freestyle swing, it can be done with a hip hinge as well, just like a hardstyle swing. A hardstyle swing is always performed with a hip hinge, never with a squat. Even though Pavel started with a squat movement. Yes, he did. He started the swing with a squat movement. Forget about that. It turned into a hip hinge. Now everybody thinks that it needs to be done with a hip hinge only when they follow that kind of thinking, the hardstyle thinking, which is only about power. Don't get me wrong, hardstyle is good. Focusing on one thing is great. Power is strength and speed, okay? But there's more. There's endurance. There's just strength. And there's also fun. These are important things as well. Okay, so you need to understand that. Now, the hip snap. I've done 200 swings unbroken with a 28 kilo. And there was no hip snap. But the weight came up high enough. That's another thing. If you're moving weight, it doesn't always need to come here. Yes, if it's a hardstyle swing, it needs to come here because that is what they want. It needs to come here to show that you had enough power to get it here. But if you're doing a freestyle swing, it doesn't need to come here. If you're doing an 80 kilo kettlebell swing, you can look it up, some people are doing that, they're not getting it here. But are they still getting the benefit of swinging that weight if everything else is with good form? Yes, they are. They're still making the movement. They're making the hip hinge movement, which is for flexibility, to work the hamstrings, to work the glutes, to work the back, to work everything around your scapula, etc. Okay, even your ankles, your calves are working. So, stop thinking so close-minded. First, ask, what kind of swing variation are you doing? Then, based on that, most of the time, actually, people don't even know what they want to do. Then you need to ask, what are your goals? Then you need to know, when they mention their goals, maybe they want high intensity, quick, something quick that really gets the heart rate up quick, then a squat swing is really good. Okay, so maybe they want to do fat loss, work for fat loss, and I want to keep working long, then you can't do a powerful swing because, for example, 200 swings unbroken. You can't do that with power, maximum speed. You can't. Power is about short reps, heavy weight, as fast as possible. Now, let's have a look. I'll do a fast swing, okay, with speed, which is what people call hip snap. I don't like to use that term myself. I just like to use with speed, a swing with speed or for maximal power. Okay, here we go. So those are fast swings with maximal power, as fast as I could do it at this stage. Okay, now I can do the same swing, it comes just as high, but it's not as fast. And people will refer to that as no hip snap. Here we go. So the hip snap is missing, the speed is missing, maximum speed is missing, but just enough speed to get it to here. And everything else is right. I'm activating everything around the scapula. I'm using a hip hinge, inserting, looking there, keeping the cervical in line with the rest of the spine, shoulders are back. Then I come here. Now my elbows are slightly bent because I activate my lats and my chest, which pulls the upper arm down. You can also go fully straight, that's up to you. This is how I like to swing. Again, you can do some research into that as well. Should you swing with straight arms or bend arms? Another thing that people call skippy arms. If it's done right and you understand why you're doing it, it's a different swing variation. Now I could go on about this and talk for hours. I'll bore you to death, guarantee it. Okay. Now, if you want to know a lot more about the swing and you want to open your mind, then check out Master the Kettlebell Swing. It's a book, it's also a course and also a certification. There's tests, assessments, exams, and coaching, etc. Now, if you want to learn more about opening up your knowledge, opening up your mind about kettlebells, then come and join us in the inner circle or become a gold member on our kettlebell exercise encyclopedia, which has over 100 workouts, follow along workouts. You get technique, you get coaching, and you get to learn a whole lot more than just that little box where everybody thinks that everything is just about power. It's not. There's so much more. There's so much fun to be had, mobility to be gained, strength, endurance. You know, it's not just about strength and speed. Yes, those are great attributes to have, but you also want to be able to last. You also want mental toughness. You also want to have fun. There's so much more. Check it out. Now I'll end with a single arm sports style swing, which is also not a hip snap, but it's the opposite of a hard style swing. It goes like this. 3 joints involved. Ankles, knees, hips. So as I come back, I'm here, extending, the weight falls forward, I move along, the arm is still connected, then I stand up, and the weight goes here, not out. Trust me, this is a valid swing. It's a swing that's used in sports style to master the clean and the snatch, and to be able to last. It goes like this. Look up the definition of snap. Is there a snap? No. Is it valid? Yes. Is there a lot in between hardstyle and sports style? Yes. Is there more between sports style and hardstyle? Yes. There's so much more that is not covered in sport and that's not covered in hardstyle. So much more, guaranteed. So don't stay in these little circles. Come and join us and experience everything that's within the big circle These little things are there, and there's this. You're gonna enjoy it, guaranteed.